Hello everyone, today is 22nd of April, now it's 12 o'clock Moscow time. I'm Moldova and Gagauzia, and this is first news summary of the day. Quite slow day in terms of news, but still there is quite a number of important developments that I like to share with you for this moment. Information about, and first of all, of course, short summary of the situation on Ukrainian battlefield. We have a major news, let's say. Russian Defense Ministry yesterday confirmed information that Bogdanovka settlement in Seizure direction is under full Russian control. Media outlets, military channels reported about full control of Russian forces over Bogdanovka quite a number of days ago. But Defense Ministry of Russian Federation confirmed this information just yesterday. When it comes to overall situation in Seizure direction, in last several days, we clearly can see some sort of operational pause, although there may be no ground operations right now on a more or less significant scale, but Russian Air Force and Russian long-range artillery definitely is working very actively and pounding concentrations of points of concentration of Kiev regime forces and military equipment. Also, in Avdeevka direction, main hotspot is still Ocheretino, where Russian forces are increasing their pressure on Ukrainian formations, and also Novokalinovo direction. Several channels are reporting that probably Russian forces will establish control over the Novokalinovo settlement in upcoming days, and will further increase pressure on Ukrainian formations in Ocheretino. Russian armed forces also improving their positions in Krasnogorovka direction, and according to some reports, Russian armed forces establish control over the additional strongholds of the Kiev regime on the southern side of Krasnogorovka, and it seems like Kiev regime forces are unable to hold on to their positions, and step by step, but almost on daily basis, are withdrawing, and Russian armed forces almost are now in central parts, at least forward units. That's reportings that we are getting, and also Russian armed forces improving their positions in Georgievka direction, which is western side of Marinka. Novomikhailovka, as I reported in previous updates, about 90% is under full Russian control, although some channels were too quick to call Novomikhailovka under full Russian control a couple of days ago, but according to latest information, settlement almost completely under Russian control. There may be like 5-10% on the western side of the settlement, that is where some Ukrainian units are still presented. And in terms of South Donetsk sector, Russian armed forces also on daily basis increasing pressure now on Ukrainian formations in Vremevsky salient area, in Urozhaina direction to be more precise, and the military channels expecting that in upcoming weeks Russian armed forces probably will regain control over all those settlements that used to be under Russian control before the so-called Ukrainian spring-summer counteroffensive of 2023. It's several settlements. That was only gains that Kiev regime had in South Donetsk sector. Of course, all of you remember. This is it for short summary. Of course, if you are interested in more detailed information, I recommend the military channels. They are providing great volume of information on daily basis on topic of progress of special military operation. I will continue with some additional news. I already reported that Bogdanovka is under full Russian control, according to Defense Ministry of Russia. Vzglyad newspaper is reporting that Kiev regime forces are under risk of being encircled in Semyonovka area, which is, of course, Avdeevka direction, right next to Bogdanovka, right next to Berdichi, not Bogdanovka. Let me show you on the map. So, it must be here somewhere. It is. This is Semyonovka area, which is basically almost entirely controlled by Russian forces, and several channels are reporting that Berdichi almost also are under full Russian control. Just few positions that are that Kiev regime forces still are holding. I guess in upcoming days we will receive information that both these settlements, Semyonovka and Berdichi, are under full Russian control. And I remind you, dear friends, that it was a Berdichi area where Kiev regime started using a couple of weeks ago Abrams tanks. That was the first instance when we see Abrams tanks being deployed to zero line, and all five tanks, Abrams tanks, that were destroyed by Russian forces, 5 or 6, all of them were destroyed in Berdichi area. Let's continue. TASS news agency is reporting that according to head of Senate Committee on Intelligence, Mark Warner, Washington or Pentagon may start delivering weapons to Kiev regime in next week already, including ATACMS ballistic missiles. Although, by the way, I'm quite sure Pentagon was delivering these weapons even before Congress or House of Representatives approved this Ukrainian aid package on 61 billion. So not really big news or surprises here. RT is reporting that Poland is ready to host US nuclear weapons. President of Poland, Andrzej Duda, has admitted he's discussed the issue with Washington. Okay, it's a sovereign right of Poland if they want to host nuclear weapons and transfer Poland into quasi-nuclear state, which ultimately means that Russian side will take appropriate measures, and most likely Poland will become, in that case, potential target for Russian nukes. If that's what Warsaw wants, then it's their choice. RBK News agency is reporting that Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, made a statement that Israel in upcoming days will further increase military operations against Hamas, which may be basically announcement of upcoming assault on Rafah city on the southern part of Gaza Strip. World community is warning Netanyahu's government not to do this because of the huge concentration of civilians in Rafah. But seems like Netanyahu is not willing to listen to nobody. RT is reporting that rockets were fired at the US base in Syria. Reuters confirmed this information. At least 5 rockets were fired at an American base in northeastern Syria, Reuters reported on Sunday, citing 2 unnamed Iraqi security officials. The projectiles were reportedly launched from the town of Zumar in northwestern Iraq. Reuters did not specify if there were any casualties, so we did not hear for quite a while any information about target strikes on US bases in Syria or Iraq. But well, maybe things are changing, and because of US participation in recent because US was actively engaged in shutting down Iran's missiles and drones during the recent Iranian retaliatory strike on Israel, maybe things will change. And also, by the way, there was reports yesterday or day before that Shiite militias were targeted in Iraq, and several sources reporting that it was a US strike, not Israeli strike. Initially, there was reports that Israel targeted those militia forces, but then reports came in that it was US. It's not clear yet, but in any case, one should expect escalation in these terms, and probably we will hear more and more reports about targeting US bases in both countries, Syria and Iraq. RT is reporting that US voters' interest sinks to historic low, according to polls. Americans are losing interest in this year, the US presidential elections, as both Democrat incumbent Joe Biden and Republican challenger Donald Trump alienate voters. New NBC News poll has shown the survey released on Sunday found that just 64% of US voters are very interested in the November election, compared with 77% at this point in 2020 presidential race. Well, 64% is a quite high number still, but in any case, I was a little surprised to see this news, because intensity of conflict between Republicans and Democrats is quite high. So probably this number will grow as presidential elections will come closer and closer. RT is reporting that there is no consensus in the West on seizing Russian assets. There was an article in Washington Post about this topic, and EU officials are reluctant to bow to US pressure and transfer frozen Russian assets to Ukraine, fearing that Moscow's retaliation would be aimed primarily at the European Union rather than US. The Washington Post reported on Saturday, well, it's logical somewhat, after all, about 100 billion of Russian assets are frozen in US and 200 billion in EU, and Russian retaliatory steps will, of course, probably will hurt EU's economical interests more, twice more at least, than US. But in any case, I don't think Brussels have enough strength to resist Washington and London. Eventually, they will do whatever they are told to do. And as I said yesterday and many times before, Western so-called elites, they cannot help themselves. Ruling class of the West, I mean, real decision makers, they cannot help themselves. They see this 300 billion of Russian assets and they want to steal it. I mean, and they will. US already has US lawmakers already are working on legalizing this stealing. And I'm quite sure UK and Brussels will follow suit. And finally, I will report about this news that head of Gagauzia is in Moscow again. Evgenia Gutsul quite often visits Moscow nowadays, which definitely indicates that things in Moldova are quite tense. Gagauzia autonomous region is of course part of Moldova right now, but earlier there were statements made in Gagauzia that if Moldova will move closer to EU, or if Moldova's current government will make decision to not just join EU but also Romania, Gagauzia may declare its sovereignty, independence from Moldova, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's only a matter of time, and eventually Gagauzia, Transnistria, and possibly some other parts of modern Moldova will eventually break away from Moldova, and whatever will be left from that former Soviet republic will join Romania, I guess. It used to be part of Romania anyway, before Second World War, so probably it will rejoin Romania once again. Just a couple of days ago, Prime Minister of Moldova openly said that he sees himself as Romanian, and he has every right. So, I mean, who am I to tell how Prime Minister of Moldova should see himself? If he wants to be Romanian, I mean, good luck with that. There's no issues there. Only hope they can be there that this inevitable, in my opinion, disintegration of Moldova will go down peacefully without bloodshed. That will be best outcome in the situation, because as I understand, significant part of society in Moldova wants to join Romania and see themselves as Romanians, and also significant part of society in Moldova wants to be closer to Russia, wants to maintain their own identity, and they want to be closer to Russia, including Gagauzia autonomous region, which is a unique region, by the way. This is only Turkic speaking people that are Orthodox Christians. So they're unique. All people are unique, of course, but what Gagauzia people are also unique, and one of these uniqueness is that this is only people in Turkic speaking world that are Orthodox Christians. Well, I will end this quite short update now. Hopefully you will find it somewhat informative and interesting. As I said, quite slow day news-wise, but still there are some news that are interesting. And well, if you find this update informative, please click that like button, leave some commentary just about anything. Let's fight algorithm, at least try. And the only way is likes and comments. Well, finally, if you like this channel and want to support my work, you can do it with small donation through PayPal, Boosty, or by subscribing to my Patreon page, on which, by the way, in a couple of hours time I will publish also news update. I will record update outside. It's a quite sunny day, so hopefully Patreon community will also find new video interesting. This is it for now. All the links, by the way, under this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. This is it for now. Of course, if any breaking news, any very important developments, I will make a second news summary close to evening today. Let's see. So bye for now. Have a great day and take care.